CCX Sports presents coverage of Lake Conference Boys Lacrosse. Tonight, a matchup of the Minnetonka Skippers and the 5th-ranked Wayzata Trojans. From Wayzata High School in Plymouth, John Jacobson and Dan Ficken for tonight's telecast. Dan, already the second meeting of the season between these two teams. They played just over 2 weeks ago with Wayzata winning 11-9. It's been a shortened season because of all those postponements early in April. Teams really banging to get those games out now and get caught up in their schedules. This should be a good one tonight.
It really should be. I mean, there is only, a 2-goal differential in the last time they played. And, very easily could have gone the other way. Plus, Tonka, they lost a close one to Edina, too. So these teams are very well matched, and nobody has a real clear advantage here.
I talked to Minnetonka coach Aaron Olivier before the game, and he's saying, we really need to control Wayzata's high-end talent. They've got some really, really good players. We need to try to slow them down as best as we can to have to stay in this game and have a chance to upset them.
At minimum 4 D1 prospects, no question on this team. They've been coming since they were in 7th grade, and now they're here, and they're really showing their prowess. I'll tell you what, they got a good shot to win state this year. They're one of the favorites, Wayzata is. So Minnetonka's going to have their hands full that way, but they did a good job the last time. And Tonka's got this, they spread the scoring up. They got 10 different people that have scored goals, so you can't isolate on somebody. It could come from any direction from you. I think that's their secret. If they get some goaltending tonight and shut them down, they have an opportunity to upset the Trojans on their home field.
Let's look at our key players, starting with Minnetonka. Andrew DiFrancesco is a junior, future D1 guy himself, headed to Denver University in a couple of years.
Well, you're going to DU. They won the national championship a few years ago, so he's a tremendous player. He's got good speed, good hands, can switch, go righty-lefty when he needs to. Hasn't really put the ball in the net as you figure D1 would, but again, they spread this out, and everybody's getting an opportunity, and he's feeding the other people too. So he's kind of an all-around player. He plays the whole field, midi, back and forth. He does a good job.
For Wayzata, a guy who has put the ball in the back of the net a lot of times already early in the season, the first 7 games. That's senior Dalton Sees. He'll play next year at Hofsted in New York State.
Well, there you go. There's one of them right there. He's got 30 points. He can really rip it. He's been being watched for quite a while. He played for my son on one of the teams in the All-Star Elite teams during the summer, and he's really a player. You're going to like watching him. Again, good hands, great speed, sees the field extremely well, and oh boy, did he have a cannon. He can really rip the ball. So he'll be fun to watch tonight.
Should be a fun one tonight. Great Lake Conference programs. Minnetonka and Wayzata going head-to-head tonight in boys lacrosse. We'll take a timeout and come back and start this one off in just a moment here on CCX Sports.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. As life gets busier than ever, we will still offer you a connected community experience through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
John Jacobson, Dan Ficken back at Wayzata High School. We are ready to go. Minnetonka and Wayzata, the Trojans in the home white with the gold helmets in blue trim, and Minnetonka in the blue and white. We are underway, and on ball still loose and on the ground. Scramble, get a whistle, and it's going to go over to Wayzata. They'll get the first possession here, Dan. Cade Ciaracha putting it in play, the junior D. Back to the goalie, Matthew Mayberry, and we are underway. Starters for Wayzata numerically: Chris Thomas in midfield, Brooks Hansen attack, Cade Ciaracha at the D, Alex Sally midfield, and Luke Getz D, Andrew Sally attack, Braden Nelson attack, Jack Hess in midfield, Sawyer Anderson, D, and Matthew Mayberry, he is in goal. So now I see the Trojans setting up offensively. Dan, what do they look to do here early on? His first possession, what do you look for?
We're just going to move it around, get settled into their offense. Instead of setting into a standard 2-3-1. And they're probably going to run some cutters off. off some picks here to begin with, but I like this ball possession.
Now coming is Andrew Solly. Now still holding as he comes back and dart back behind the net. Off to Dalton Seas. And across to Nelson. Braden Nelson. A little dodge, avoids a check. Not a second one, though. Went down, but keeps possession and gets it back out. Luke Marquardt will reset.
Well, we were talking about before the game. I mean, the Trojans are ball handlers. I mean, they really know how to handle the ball.
Here's Brooks Hansen, who's at a good spring so far. He'll pass it in front, trying to hit it to Marquardt and couldn't connect on the pass. Minnetonka starters today, their forwards, Blake Dixon, Max McGraw, Andrew DeFrancesco, Reed Gatenby, Luke Tollefson, and Mason Hendrickson. The midfielders, Luke Schmidt, Cole Schmidt, and Sandler Tollefson and D, and Jack Bayless, all-section goalie for a year ago. He's got it right now. He's number one. You know, I talked to Coach Olivier before the game, and he talked about he's got 4 guys on this lacrosse team that were part of the Skipper's State Championship hockey team. They're just great athletes, and I always think that kind of carries over when you get that championship mentality and you bring it to another sport.
Winning is winning. And it's you get used to it and you know how to do it. And the Skippers have a challenge here tonight, but they've got the talent to do it. Getting their first possession here now. Both teams kind of feeling each other out and looking for some holes.
Minnetonka working it to the left side, coming in. DeFrancesco, shot and a save made by Mayberry. He's got a big rain of hair under that helmet, Dan.
They got enough padding, you take one in the noggin, you don't feel it so much, by gosh.
Nelson on the attack, had his stick knocked out and had the ball come loose, but it's still Wayzata's possession. Alex Solly, one of the captains, senior midfielder, number 12, now possessing for Wayzata. We played just over 3 minutes here in the first quarter.
Chargers can go too deep. They've been substituting freely and frequently here and just keeping everybody fresh. Although it's a beautiful, cool night. Heat's not going to be a factor tonight at all.
On the run, a shot and a good save by Bayless. He will make the stop, and he gets his first save and gets Minnetonka going in their transition. Jacob Dahl feeding it ahead. Nice fake there. Brunsvold on the run and stopped again. Mayberry with another save. And back comes Wayzata. They'll get across midfield. Alex Solly, nice dodge. It's away from one check, and they'll feed the pass off to Braden Nelson.
Well, so far, both goalies stepping up to the plate. Now, shots from far out, but yet, crucial saves. Quick with the basket. And have stopped the first one from going in for both teams. So
here's Hansen. Brooks Hansen comes, side of the net.
Beautiful.
Pass in front, and another save. Bayless making another stop. So each goalie come up a couple of big saves here early in the first quarter.
That was a good play to a pass in front to Jake Schneider, I think. Or no, I'm sorry. Brooks Hansen was in front for Wayzata, and Bayless just made a great save on him. That was a nice play as they got into the middle, and boy, he just stopped it down cold.
Luke Tollefson fed it off to Max McGraw. Around the net they go, back to the left of the Wayzata goal. Back it out. They switch out a couple of players, and Forrest with it now. Oliver Forrest, junior midfielder. He'll drop it back. Into the cross now of Grant Doctor. Feeds it off to Hurt. And Matthew Hurt to Max McGraw. Back out left side. Good patient work by Minnetonka, as we saw Wayzata do in their opening possession especially. Working to see if they can get a good shot, find a cutter, or an opening where a player can cut to the net or from behind. On the attack, and then passing it off was forced. Work it back out, and that pass missed, and it comes back over to midfield, out of play. And off of Minnetonka, the Wayzata possession. So a turnover by Minnetonka. nearly played halfway here in the opening quarter already with these long possessions, just a couple of whistles.
Well, just a sign of some disciplined teams here. I mean, they both, it's amazing. Their statistics are so eerily close. They both average just a little over 10 goals a game, and they give up just around 6 goals a game. So I'm not expecting a high-scoring affair here.
Here comes Solly on the run now. He'll pass it back out high. Shot, and that one gets deflected as Nelson shot. That'll be Wayzata's possession. I think it went off one of the players in front. I don't think it got all the way through to Bela. As you look at Aaron Olivier now in his 10th season as head coach. They won a state championship. Minnetonka did back in 2009. Chancing close, and Solly had it knocked away. Good defense by Minnetonka. Wayzata holds the possession. Here's Alex Solly, a shot and a goal, and Wayzata's on the board.
Pretty great shot from outside. 15th goal of the year for Alex Solly. Coming down, finally got a little bit of an opening, John. Everything's been kind of snuffed out as far as the shooting lanes, and maybe either been blocked or it's been saved. But nice move here, gets an opening, and enough to get his arms extended coming through. And I don't think he was screened, just a nice straight dart of a shot, high-low, and into the lower part of the right part of the net.
Well, C's will get the assist. As look at Chad Hurt, 10th year head coach of Wayzata, 3rd place finish last year in the state tournament. Really had some outstanding teams the past several years. Both of these programs have been really solid. Wayzata coming off a great year, really, for them.
Well, they've been to the mountain. They just haven't gotten to the peak yet. And this might be Coach Hurt's best opportunity with this team right here. Oh, perfect. Oh.
Missed on the pass, trying to get it to C's, but it came across to Hansen. Wayzata able to maintain control again. Another face-off win, and keys the possession for Wayzata.
Chris Thompson is one of the premier face-off specialists in the state, probably in top 3 in the state. But he's really good. He wins over 63%.
Nelson had it hacked away from him, but it's picked up by C's. Dalton C's bouncing a shot and stopped by Bayless. And back comes Minnetonka on the run. Cole Schmidt flips a pass out, missed it midfield. Trying to get it to Larson. It's taken back by Wayzata. So turnover for Minnetonka again. It's Alex Solly with it.
Well, these past couple possessions, though, the Trojans have been able to get down through the cuts down the middle and have beaten their defenders. Just haven't been seen or just didn't throw the pass to them, but I would expect sooner or later they're going to bust that crease down and get in the middle of that zone.
Sees on the run, fires a shot. Bayless the save.
Good shot right into Bayless's chest protector, and he was thankful for that.
Right. Here's Josh Ludke on the way. The D1 hockey prospects and lost it. He put a little hit right there into the midsection of Anderson, and now ball comes over to Minnetonka. Max McGraw with it and back out.
Boy, Tonka's being real disciplined here. They're not pushing the net. They're not being aggressive here when they get a turnover like that. They didn't have the numbers, and they shouldn't have, but they're playing it smart. And,
that pass missed a little low and through the legs of Blake Dixon out of play. So Tonka giving another possession away here. I hate to see that if you're a coach when you have those. It's one thing if you get pressure from a defender or something, but that was just it's kind of what we call an unforced error, right?
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. That's almost worth a few push-ups in practice.
And then Wayzata gives it right back, so it evens up here. Ground ball here, battle for Dixon. Trying to get it, but Luke Getz making a nice effort for Wayzata to get it.
Really nice.
It's trying to get it to Mayberry, and that's picked off by McGraw out in front. A shot and a goal. McGraw, great defensive play to pick off the pass, feeds Blake Dixon in front. We're tied at 1.
Sloppy play by Wayzata trying to get the ball to the goalie. It's a good idea, but you got to get it to him. And Max McGraw, top scorer for the Skippers, just stepped right in front, made a nice play. Knew he had to get it out in front because the goalie wasn't there, and found his man. And you could see here the sloppy pass and Just kind of drops through. McGraw steps in real quick. He takes a quick look, finds the man up front, and he buries it before the goalie can get, Mayberry can get in play. And we got a tie game. But, you know, you and I have talked about, too, the past few games about these turnovers, and they can kill you. And if you start giving too many of them up, you're going to start giving up too many goals, and it does drive a coach absolutely nuts.
Dixon, his 5th goal of the season. Alex Solly's goal earlier, his 15th of the year. We are tied up at 1, under 3 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Minnetonka gains possession. Comes Luke Tollefson for the Skippers. Little push from the back from Jack Hess. Holds it, comes out front, trying to feed it out in front. We get a whistle, and then we get a penalty coming up. Here's a shot away, and Mayberry makes the stop on it and out of play.
Boy, Mayberry is really impressive with his quickness. He's quick with that basket in his body. I like the way his body moves into the ball, too. He's playing it just like a regular hockey goalie, so to speak.
One thing I know, Minnetonka stressed to their players coming into this one, a shot and a goal. And the Skippers take the lead 2-1. DiFrancesco buries it, put the Skippers in front.
That's his 7th of the year, I think, but a nice shot. Just ripped it from somewhat far out, but boy, just beat Mayberry like right now, got into that net.
And a great pass and great shot as well. It's just go to Jacob Dahl.
Yeah, the surprise there, John, was the quickness with which he received the pass and got the shot off.
I was about to say the one thing that the Skipper players were stressed about this game, stressed too, the point was that they gave up 7 man-up goals last time. 12 and a half minutes of penalties the first time against Wayzata. Said, we got to cut that out to be able to win tonight against this talented Wayzata team.
No question. Oh, my gosh.
And no penalties so far. Well, we played close to a quarter. Well, there's one in Wayzata. As Cole Schmidt gets tripped up, and Nelson will have to come out for Wayzata here.
Well, we watched it the other day as Rogers took advantage 3 times of man-up situations, and you know that's just lack of stick discipline here. You got to just. He didn't really have any prayer getting a stick on that, stick to stick, and well, we'll see if the Skippers make him pay. So we got a 30-second penalty here on Wayzata.
DiFrancesco will start out this possession. Comes to Doctor, gets the pass off to Traxler. Short passes, trying to feed to the side of the net. They do, and a great feed and burying it. Grant Brunsvold.
Grant Brunsvold, his 8th of the year, but what a pass down to the lower crease on the right-hand side of the net. Beautiful play setup, and I got to believe that was a play. He was looking for him. Got it inside. Nobody expected to go down low, and once he got it in there, he just Mayberry's helpless. What do I do now? Is it going to be high or low? And Brunsvold just buries it. And all of a sudden, the Skippers, after being down 1-0, are down by up by 2 here on the Trojans on their home field.
DiFrancesco had that assist on that play. That was a great pass, you mentioned, Dan. And now 3-1.
Wow.
Minnetonka, they get 3 goals in the last 91 seconds of play.
You don't get a ride to Denver without having some baller in you. And boy, he showed it on that play.
Now, Wayzata's got possession. See what they can do here. So we wind down to a minute to play here in this opening quarter. Rain still could be coming, Dan, tonight, but the sun is out. Beautiful, cool May evening.
Thou shalt not speak of that, John. don't curse us here, for heaven's sakes.
Hanson with the long pass out high to Nelson. Braden Nelson on the run, stops, turns. Didn't see a good opening and passes it back out instead to Alex Sally. Now Sally on the move. He puts a shot on,
off the
and
post.
it just went off, or Bayless rather, and the post, and stayed out of the net. And Minnetonka will get presumably the final possession here of the quarter. Brunsvold, who scored just a minute ago, fakes a shot, goes in through traffic and a lot of traffic, puts it on net. Didn't get a lot on it, and Mayberry makes the save. Then his pass gets taken away. Came back to Wayzata, and they will not be able to get a shot off before the quarter ends. Strong finish to the first by Minnetonka. It's 3-1. The Skippers lead Wayzata. Take timeout. And more Lake Conference Lacrosse on CCX after this timeout.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Hart, what's going on?
I'm leaving.
Why? What did I do?
Not enough. You constantly ignore me. You barely eat anything healthy. You're half as active as you used to be. The pressure is just too much. I quit.
Okay, I get it. I'll do better. Just please, don't leave.
Okay. But remember, if I go, you go.
Listen to your heart. Don't let it quit on you. Uncontrolled high blood pressure could lead to stroke, heart attack, or death. Get yours to a healthy range before it's too late.
John Jacobson and Ficken back here at Wayzata High School. Minnetonka leading Wayzata 3-1 in tonight's boys lacrosse game. Minnetonka girls beating Wayzata earlier here tonight.
Entertaining game as the Skippers pulled away in the last part of the second half, but good game overall. Stayed close pretty much all the way through. Skippers here turning it around in the last half of that first period, John, and took the lead after being down 1-0. And I like that they made smart plays. Nice set, got an opportunity, took advantage of it, scored, and deserved this three goals that they've got. They've earned every one of them.
Thomas and Gatenby to face off. Begin the second quarter.
Gatenby's no slouch either for the Skippers. He's got a 66% win rate on the faceoff.
Thomas wins it. We get a whistle, though. It's going to go to Minnetonka.
Pinned and dragged it. They're not letting you drag the ball anymore. And we're holding it tight down there, and he did that. It's driving some of these face-off kids crazy because that's the way they were taught, so they got to kind of relearn how they're doing it.
DiFrancesco out to Hurt. And back out they work it to Forst. Ludke down low, then back out, or back to the behind the net to DiFrancesco again on the right side. Makes a bump there, but still has possession, and to the stick of Ludke. Minnetonka setting a little bit wider perimeter here with the longer passes. Now it's to Hurt. And Ludke will work it back right side. Forced behind the net. They go again.
They're trying the short sticks. They're kind of looking for a
Hurt
dodge opportunity, but no.
Takes a nice hit from Luke Gatz, who forces the turnover. Good play by Wayzata. Now it's Joel Matthews on the run for the Trojans.
Good defensive slide there, and he timed it just right, and they caused a nice turnover there.
Thomas Seaford with it for Wayzata. And Dalton Seas will give it up to Alex Solly. Shadowed there by Ludke. Trojans will behind the net and then back out right side to Ludke. Or excuse me, to Seifert. Nelson to Solly. Brooks Hansen behind the net. Long loss there, but then picked back up by Andrew Solly. Able to avoid the turnover. Keeps possession for his team. Give Nelson a little dodge. Good pass in front, shot away, and it was just wide off the stick of Seas. Picked up by Andrew Solly. And that pass deflected. Rolling out to midfield and possessed by Minnetonka. Traxler has it. Here comes Traxler, he's in free, and he scores. Unassisted goal, 2:23 into the second quarter, and it's 4-1 Minnetonka.
Really nice play here. Battled with a long stick as the ball came free and across the line again. Got good position on him, and then just came around and beat him, and he just beat him. He just was not going to be denied here. He got around, and he just turns the Jets on about right here. Gets inside, switches, hands, goes to lefty, and brings it in, and gets the fourth skipper goal here as they take a 3-goal lead. Not much Mayberry could do with that. He was in all alone on him.
A 4-1 Minnetonka, and they have possession again off the face-off. Brunsvold with it. He had a goal in the first quarter. Give it back out to Charlie Wagner. And now to Jacob Dahl. Dahl.
Oh.
Short pass. Will dodge, but then recovering nice defensively was Ruland for Wayzata. And Trojans get it back, and back they come. Luke Getz with it across midfield. The stick of Seifert. Seifert being hacked out there, pushed again, and able to fight that off. Give it up to Dalton Seas. He, Brooks Hansen, Alex Solly, Jack Hess, all captains on this Wayzata team this year.
You know, John, it looks like, you know, Wayzata's starting to force some things to him. I'm seeing that some not so smart passes coming through. They got the ball back here as it was deflected off a skipper stick, but boy, going across that situation, going across the field like that, it's not a good pass.
No, Minnetonka, a man down on the coming off was Brunsvold. See if Wayzata can take advantage here. Trailing 3-1, ball deflected and picked up by Minnetonka. It's Mason Hendrickson. Hendrickson on the run for the Skippers, and we get a timeout by Minnetonka. No?
Yes.
So a flag that was picked up, but it is a timeout indeed for the Skippers here with just over 8 minutes to play here in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Minnetonka's played very good lacrosse so far tonight, Dan, the first 16 minutes here.
They really have. They've been very aggressive on defense. They're using their heads on defense. They've closed off the middle now after a couple opportunities for Wayzata early in the first period, and have done a good job of getting some turnovers and making the Wayzata Trojans pay. That last one was a big one. Now they got the ball. You know, they can run off the penalty. They only got 36 seconds left on it, and then present themselves another opportunity to score and get up by, you know, hopefully 4 goals here. But they've played very well. Right now, Wayzata looks a little confused. They're not quite sure what they're doing on defense. They're starting to force some plays and making some bad passes. And a lot of passes I've noticed have been, you know, straightforward, and a lot of them just going into the dirt before they get to the person who's supposed to be receiving it. They need to be a lot more crisp with their pass and have some confidence in their passing. They're kind of hesitating, so we'll see if they, you know, start playing, you know, with the confidence that they should.
Wayzata last week, Lake Conference wins over Hopkins and Eden Prairie last Thursday. They improved their record to 6-1 in the season. Their only loss against Montemedi here on April 28th when they lost 14-13 to the Zephyrs.
That was in overtime, too.
And they have not lost in the Lake Conference yet. tonight. Minnetonka testing them here in the first quarter plus. Aaron Olivier's team played well, and we are back underway out of the timeout. And the Skippers with possession, Forrest with it. You can do everything you can to run away from the Trojans and kill off more of this 36 seconds.
Is he ever going to run out of legs, John? He's just motoring. Look at him.
Well, I'll go back this way. I got more energy coming back to my left than the right. Now Forrest finally gives it up after close to the entire 36 seconds. Gave it to DiFrancesco.
And the penalty is now killed, and Skippers are full strength. Well done. Very well played. Wow.
Grant Doctor with it. He'll give it back to Hunter Abraham, and Minnetonka will set up now. Ludke trying to get a run past Spencer Amick. Pass goes back behind the net. Here comes Dixon's got a goal already right out in front. Puts it past Mayberry and scores his second of the night. It's 5-1 Minnetonka.
I can feel the shock waves all the way up here. Minnetonka is just right now thoroughly outplaying him. What a nice move here. Comes around, stumbles a little bit, and he sees exactly where he's going to put that ball and just buries it as soon as he gets around the corner. That was just straight, I'm going to beat you around the corner, and he did. Nice play by Dixon here. I was also really impressed with the penalty killing. Forrest, oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh, there's a cot down on the side of the field. He's laying in it now. Yes, I can, resting. Wow, that was impressive.
Thomas trying to control it for Wayzata, and finally he's able to get up after being pushed, and stick swung at him, and he does a nice job to keep possession for Wayzata. Now it's Max Ruland on the move for the Trojans. Ruland comes in with a shot and a save by Bayless. Trojans still keep it though. And a shot away. Another stop, a loose ball, and controlled by Minnetonka. Boy, Jack Bayless has been outstanding so far tonight for the Skippers.
Yeah, Dalton C's got his arms extended. He let one go there, and boy, Bayless is just all over it. He got out of the crease and got out and cut down the angle, and he used that basket really well.
Braden Nelson will slow things up here for Wayzata as they look to set it up. Alex Solly, Hansen back behind the net. Stick up a little high there on Andrew Solly. Ball knocked away, and he's able to get it back. Has another player come at him and able to get the pass off nicely to Seifert.
That was a good double team by the Skippers down there. They almost caused another turnover.
Seifert to Andrew Solly, back out in the long pass to Seas. Alex Solly, a couple steps in. Excuse me, that was Nelson. Now Nelson has it again, 22. Start to run in here for the Trojans. Shot away, wide. Wayzata will keep possession. It's over 5 minutes to play here in the first half. Wayzata scored first, but Minnetonka's responded with 5 straight. Now a chance, and Wayzata gets one back. Alex Solly, his second of the night, and it's 5-2.
Just another situation where I got the ball and I'm going to beat you one-on-one. Defense is kind of flat-footed there as Solly came around him and just beat him straight. Lefty. And that's kind of unusual. There aren't a lot of left-handed players, or at least comfortable on their left side. So when you get one in front of you, it kind of changes your situation because you're always used to moving to your right. Now you got to go to your left, and now you got to go to your right as a defender. But they needed that one, John.
Yeah,
that was a
no
big
doubt.
goal.
Thomas getting after it and gets possession for Wayzata. So another face-off win for the junior. Lost it there, though. The defense by Minnetonka forcing Thomas to give it up. Skippers have possession. Brunsvold's got a goal tonight. He's open on that left side. Takes the shot and then decides to come back out. I think he had the angle on Mayberry to get a good shot away. Now dodges a couple players. Ball came loose and scooped up by Dahl and back out to Doctor. Doctor back behind the net. Here comes McGraw. Nice little fake there.
Oh my
Gives the
gosh.
pass up, shot away, and a goal.
Wow.
Doctor or McGraw with a great pass out to Dahl after he had the fake behind the net. That got him open and able to feed Jacob Dahl, and Dahl able to bury it for the Skippers.
Boy, just a nice play. Just took the D out of his shoes there. Found Dahl open, get his arms extended, went high-low on it, and just beat Mayberry straight up. Nice shot. Boy, all the breaks are falling Tonka's way. They're playing smart, using their head, moving the ball.
McGraw with his second assist tonight, and Dahl with his 6th goal. You know, we talked in the pregame about how many different guys can score for Minnetonka, and they've had 5 different goal scorers of their 6 goals tonight.
Yeah.
Dixon has 2.
Man, that's really important.
Clean win for Thomas, but then taken back by Minnetonka. So they've been able to play some good defense just after the faceoff, forcing turnovers. Ball still loose here, and it looks like Wayzata is going to be able to get possession back. Although Tollefson a little too aggressive defensively there on Solino. It's going to go back instead into Minnetonka.
They didn't get it in the box in time.
You're right.
And that's 3 in a row that Tonka lost the Wayzata lost the faceoff.
Oak Schmidt. Also a timeout for Minnetonka.
Good play. Had a long stick in there that wasn't quite sure what to do with the ball. Okay, call timeout and we'll talk about it. But good move, you know. And John, it's almost like they feel they got the foot on the throat. I know it's early, okay? I know it's early, but I'm not sure Wayzata was expecting this. I mean, right now, everything's falling Minnetonka's way, and they've played well to get that done. They got to come up with something here, especially offensively. With the exception of Alex Solly, they haven't been able to really get anything going at all.
Minnetonka 3-2 coming into play tonight. Skippers with a game coming up Friday at Lake. And then next Monday, they're home for the first of 4 straight matches. Lakeville North, Eden Prairie, and Edina all next week. And then Tuesday the 22nd against Hopkins. And they'll play Hopkins again in a makeup game on Friday, May 25th to close out the regular season.
Or do you think they want another piece of Edina? That 1-goal game.
Wayzata following tonight. They'll be home 2 nights from now. Chanhassen here on Thursday. Blaine on Saturday afternoon. Then they go to Edina next Tuesday. Hopkins on May 17th. They close out the regular season May 21st at White Bear Lake. Remember that White Bear Lake team from a couple years ago that we covered at state? It was outstanding. Went on to win a state championship.
And they think they got another one this year. They've been pretty impressive in some of those wins that they've had.
I mean, they were dominant, and we did them twice within a week. Once in the section final, once in the state tournament, and they just were so good. Now Minnetonka, see if they can build on this lead here with 3.5 minutes to play in the first half. The first pass missed. The second one on a shot, it's going to go over to Wayzata. Mason Hurt unable to convert, and it'll be Wayzata possession. So Trojans able to stave off that possession for Minnetonka. Now officials are going to discuss something here.
They got to change of possession? No.
No,
Oh, they
right.
did.
Yeah, they had it
They
originally given it to Sawyer Anderson. Officials discussed it, and it's going to go instead back to Minnetonka.
I think they had to decide whether it was a pass or a shot.
Right. So Minnetonka does, in fact, hold possession here. Brunsvold comes back out with the pass to Hurt. Turns, feeds it back to McGraw, and he scores. Max McGraw.
Oh boy.
McGraw tonight has a couple assists, and that's his team high 9th goal of the season.
And just nice move here. Stops, brings it back to McGraw, who's got time to get his arms extended and just rip one. And they're starting to get into Mayberry's head a little bit. He's
just struggling a little bit.
Yeah,
tonight.
he is.
He had some good couple saves early, but
he saw that one all the way. He wasn't screened or anything. And the sophomore really making an impact here. I'll tell you what, boy, 7-2. I did not expect this, and I'm sure the Trojans didn't either. And Wayzata got a face-off.
Well, let's see if they can end on a high note here in the first half. Trailing by 5. Brooks Hansen out to Dalton Seas. To Nelson. Seas, and then back across to Alex Solly. Here comes Seas on the run. And down the pipe, then feeds it back behind the net. Andrew Solly in front, a shot. Save made by Bayless, and the shot from Alex Solly. Loose ball. It's going to be whistled to Wayzata.
Loose ball push, possession going over the Trojans, yeah. Not a good shot selection, and just, again, pushing it a little bit.
Here's Alex Solly, avoids a check. Oh, and then just missed the net on that shot.
Nice move.
Yep.
He's having a really, obviously, he's having a really good night. He's got both goals for the Trojans.
Here's a look at it, Dan. Well, he was open, just missed on the nets, trying to beat Bayless on that far post. He was kind of shaded that way, the goalie for Minnetonka. The juniors played well tonight for the Skippers. Comes Solly again, and Bayless another stop.
And a crease violation. Solly got into the crease, so possession went over, would not have counted if he'd scored.
Good fake there, but then the ball turned over. And, loose ball, who's going to pick it up? And Wayzata scrambling after it. Still on the ground. Who is going to get possession? It's going to go to Wayzata. Got a minute 20 to play here in the second quarter. Alex Solly to Nelson, back to Solly. Marquardt with it. Alex Solly. Here's Nelson. Slipped a little bit, gets back up, got free, then lost the ball. Picks it back up. Out 45 seconds to go in the half. Back behind the net to Brooks Hansen. Hansen feeds the pass. Marquardt going to ward off a check there. Backs off a little bit, gets the pass to Nelson. Solly backing his way in toward the net. Pass across. Going to roll out of play. It's going to be Minnetonka possession. So the Skippers will get one final opportunity here with 17 seconds left if they can convert on a pass. Race for the ball will be picked up by Minnetonka by Forst. Able to get the pass ahead to midfield. Brunsvold. They're going to have to hurry. Brunsvold fires a shot. Didn't get all the way through, and that'll be the end of the first half. Strong first half for the Skippers against number 5 Wayzata. Minnetonka led 3-1 after a quarter. They lead 7-2 at halftime. We'll take time out. We'll come back, look at some first half highlights, and have more. You're watching coverage of Lake Conference Boys Lacrosse on CCX Sports.
So we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Maybe he's really focused.
Hey, Michael. Michael. Maybe he likes spinning the wheels.
Maybe he just loves trucks.
Maybe he's just being a boy.
Preoccupation with objects is one early sign of autism. Learn the others today. The sooner it's diagnosed, the better.
7-2, Minnetonka leads Wayzata at halftime. They took a 3-1 lead in the first quarter, built on it there in the second quarter. And up 5 here on the Trojans at halftime. Let's look at some highlights from the first half of play. Wayzata striking first. Goal from Alex Sally, assist to Dalton Seas. That came just over 6 minutes into the first quarter and gave Wayzata a 1-0 lead. But Minnetonka comes back. They tie it on that goal from Blake Dixon. That makes it 1-1. And Minnetonka scored 3 goals in just over 90 seconds to close out that first quarter. DiFrancesco getting a goal, and then DiFrancesco, the great assist here on the feed to Grant Brunsvold. That one made it 3-1 Skippers after 1. Minnetonka continuing to build on their lead in the second quarter. Great play here. Alex Traxler on the change of possession and able to take it down midfield, from midfield, and the senior attack score to make it 4-1 Minnetonka. Dixon scoring his second of the night, able to beat Matthew Mayberry with that shot to make it 5-1 Minnetonka. Trojans get one back later on a goal by Alex Solly with 5:06 to go in the half to make it 5-2, but Minnetonka able to close with 2 goals, including that one from Jacob Dahl, assist to Max McGraw, and then McGraw gets the goal that closes out the scoring. Hurt with the assist to make the score 7-2. The Skippers at halftime. As we look at the Lake Conference standings coming into play tonight, Wayzata unbeaten in Lake Conference games and overall 6-1 on the season. Edina, Eden Prairie, Minnetonka all closely bunched there in second, and Hopkins still looking for its first win of the season. Again, our halftime score, Minnetonka 7, Wayzata 2. More lacrosse on CCX after this timeout.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Yes.
Well, the sights and sounds of lacrosse tonight here at Wayzata High School. Minnetonka holding on to that lead at halftime, and they have built on that lead, Dan, after the first quarter. Wow, up 5 goals here. And they've got a good team, but I don't think we expected this against a Wayzata team that beat them the first time. And they've been playing well overall this season.
Well, we talked in the pregame, too, about if they get some goaltending. they could turn things around, because it wasn't that much difference the first time around. They've certainly got it. I mean, my heavens, Jack Bayless has really stepped up to the plate and made some nice saves. Their defense has been stifling. They have shut down the Wayzata offense, forcing them to the point of, I think, Wayzata, they got to change their offensive strategy. I would go to a totally different formation and see what you could do about opening up that defense that Tonka's been putting on him. And I think we have a change in goal. Danny Frager coming in.
Frag is a junior, and so he'll replace Mayberry in the net for Wayzata. You know, Bayless, I mentioned earlier when he made one of the saves, was an all-section guy last year and then was really playing well. And the other thing for Minnetonka that's changed from the first time they played, still have to play again. They gave up 7 man-down goals last time to Wayzata. 12.5 minutes of penalties tonight. Just the 1 penalty so far for a minute. That's it.
And they killed it, too.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Right.
I mean, it's nice kill. So let's see what way, if they can win this face-off, let's see what they do offensively. See if they change up their formation.
Well, Thomas does win the face-off for Wayzata and gets the Trojans on the run. Takes a push from behind by Jacob Dahl. Kept possession, able to feed it off to Alex Solly.
And there's going to be a penalty on the play.
Solly had a couple of goals there in the first half. Save made by Bayless, and now will we get the call?
We're going to get a push from behind with possession on Chris Thomas. So the Wayzata Trojans get a break, go a man up here right at the beginning of the second half.
Dahl comes out here. So he's off for Minnetonka for 30 seconds. And let's see if Wayzata can take advantage here and try to cut into this Minnetonka lead. Solly behind the net.
There it is.
Pass in front, a shot and a goal. There we go. Brooks Hansen able to score. Andrew Solly the assist. Man up goal makes it 7-3.
Andrew Solly with a good, quick movement of a pass, getting Brooke Hansen coming down the guts, and just a really nice play, nice setup. That's what they wanted to do. Nice to see the pass right here into the swing zone of Hansen, and he buries it and gets one. They finally get one past Jack Bayless. That was big.
For Brooks Hansen, his 11th goal of the season.
Boy, nice clean win by Thomas that time, John.
So they'll get their personnel they want, and Alex Solly will start this possession off here for the Trojans. Comes up the right side. Push there from Brunsvold. Fired a shot.
Bounce off a defender, I think.
Still Wayzata possession. Nelson. Go back behind that. Nice play by Seifert to able to catch that high pass. Now it's to back out high to Nelson and across to Solly again. Solly feeds it off side of it and a goal. Dalton Sees getting his first of the night and a 7-4. 26th of the season for the senior.
That's only the second good look he's gotten at the net tonight. And a beautiful pass and fake laid up by Solly. The move coming back, and he throws it back to Sees, who got an open look. And when he gets an open look, see ya. Just a high-low shot that goes in. All of a sudden, bing, bang, boom. Trojans are climbing their way back into this thing. What was a 5-goal deficit is now a 3-goal deficit.
You mentioned Sees was a player that played for your son Kyle this summer. And I know Dalton has talked about how much that summer play helped him. You know, you get the camps and these tournaments, and you get exposure to schools that wouldn't see you during the Minnesota high school season. That's the reason he was able to get an offer from Hofstra. That's where he'll head next year.
Just an extraordinarily beautiful campus that has a tremendous lacrosse tradition there, and what an opportunity for that young man.
So another possession here for Wayzata. Minnetonka hasn't had one yet here, and Wayzata's already scored twice in the first 2+ minutes. A great start for the Trojans to begin the third quarter.
Is there an offside? Oh yeah, Minnetonka was offside.
With 30 seconds on that, so another man-up situation for Wayzata, able to convert on it on the first goal of this half.
Could we have another let's stop the bleeding situation here? Or, oh my. Tonka's really got to buckle down now.
Quick passes here for Wayzata. Good from left to right. Solid, nice dodge. Bounces a shot, but bounces over the net and out of play. That slipped out of his stick a little bit when he went to shoot it, but Trojans do maintain possession here. Final seconds of the penalty on Minnetonka. Hansen turns and fired it wide.
Well, he got some good looks. It's even strength now, but
Solly a shot, and that one goes wide, but picked up back behind the net by Andrew Solly. Hansen. Here's Seas. Fires a shot and he scores. His second in a row. And it's 7-5.
all of a sudden he appears. Wasn't around much the first half, but all of a sudden now, watch this move coming around. And he will let it go. He got everything into that one. Watch the body movement and just how much he coils into this thing.
Second in a row, 27th of the season for Seas. Hands in the assist. 3 straight goals for Wayzata. Minnetonka getting close, you would think, to perhaps using a timeout. No panic yet. They're still in front by 2. They'll get another. Wayzata will get yet another possession here. No, still no time chances with the ball for Minnetonka until now. On a save by Bayless, a much-needed save for the Skippers, and then his pass is high and out of play. Tried to feed it out to Charlie Wagner, and too high with it, and it's back to Wayzata again.
Well, just as everything went right for Minnetonka in the first half, it's now going right for Wayzata all the way down the pike, but I think they kicked the sleeping bear here in the first half.
There's Alex Solly again. Braden Nelson. Nelson moving in. He'll fire a shot and miss the net, out of play. Still Wayzata possession. Andrew Solly will put it back in play. His pass a little bit high for Tice, and lost to Minnetonka. And Skippers trying to keep possession. Knocked away from Tollefson. Ball loose. Stick flying in the air. Hold on Wayzata. They'll put it back in play for Minnetonka. Boy, they cannot get a pass completed. More than one so far here in this second half. Trying to change that up here. And now they finally do. Get it into the offensive zone for the first time. Pass in front, turning. Oh, it's off the crossbar. On the shot by McGraw. Well, that was a heck of a shot. Just turned and fired one off the crossbar. Skippers do get possession. Now they'll try to settle things down here if they're first try on offense here in the second half.
Danny Fraga gets in here and doesn't even see a hint of a ball here for the first, 5 minutes or so, and then all of a sudden, wham.
And the Skippers, nice little move by DiFrancesco. His pass out high, too far, loose ball, and possessed by Wayzata. Taken by Luke Getz. And then he lost it in traffic. And it's back to Minnetonka. Chance for the Skippers. A shot away and a goal. Andrew DiFrancesco scoring again for the Skippers. And a big one for Minnetonka makes it 8-5.
Big games like this, the big guys got to show up, and on both teams, both have showed up. Nice, just a nice dig there, and DiFrancesco's all by himself, and you really don't want him on your goalie like that. One zip. Here, let me just have a look at it. No, it's not going there. Now it's going over here. Sorry. Nice goal. Boy, the Skippers needed that big time. But there was a good, intense effort there in that ground ball situation where they really went after it and finally won that ground ball, and then found the open man as they fast broke down.
So he's got a couple of goals and an assist tonight. And Minnetonka wins their first faceoff in quite a while. It's forced. Takes it for the Skippers. Definitely the first here in the second half, but didn't win a ton in the first half either, but they have possession here. Here's Forrest in front. Nice pass away on McGraw, and a big stop by Fraga is able to stop Max McGraw point blank.
Nice play. Fraga did a nice job there. That was a big save. He was in on him all alone.
Here comes Wayzata back with Hess. He had the ball knocked free. Ground ball, fought for, possessed briefly by Wayzata, and then it's Bayless, the goalie, is able to take it. And then his pass off the mark, taken back by Seas of Wayzata. Here comes Dalton Seas, surveying the field. His pass is high. Ground ball, who's going to be able to pick it up? And Hess with it, gets it back. Alex Sala, he'll settle things down here for the Trojans. It was a wild sequence, Dan, for about 40 seconds there.
Yeah, this half is completely different than the first half. You know, they were getting possessions and then holding on to it and possessing and moving around. This one is just wild and woolly. Tonka's got to settle down now and start playing the defense they were playing in the first half. Stay in front of these guys, don't let them get around, and don't let that guy get one loose.
Sees, and what a stop by Bayless.
He can shoot, and he will shoot. See the nice move there, you know, double back, come around, gets on his right hand again, and just lets it rip. That defender was in a good spot because he altered that shot by Seas. Timeout by Wayzata.
Comes with 5:13 to play in the third quarter. 8-5, Minnetonka lead. They led 7-2 at halftime. Able to answer the 3 straight goals by Wayzata to begin this third quarter. DiFrancesco getting the 8th Skipper goal.
The Skippers just picked up another penalty, so they're going to be a man down for 30 seconds here. And boy, that's been kind of the bread and butter of Wayzata here in the second half. That kind of ignited them. They got that first one going. So, and as you said earlier, John, in that first game, oops, it's coming back to haunt her a little bit. Coach Harris got to be really proud of the way his Trojans have fought back. I mean, they looked awful in the first half. They just couldn't do anything right, and they really have fought back. The intensity level is way better. They're fighting for ground balls hard. Their rides are great, disrupting the clears of Minnetonka, forcing quick passes in uncomfortable situations, and it's really afforded them well. Tonka, they got to settle down. They need to slow this thing down right now and take their time getting the ball up the field, and then really have a long possession in the Wayzata zone. Not necessarily for the goal right away. Just take your time, move it around, and play. Let Wayzata play some defense here, and you play some offense. So they got to kill this penalty off. And we'll see if they can regain their composure a little bit and stop this onslaught by the Trojans.
Hendrickson off for 30 seconds here. Now the timeout. And here's Wayzata. He'll be patient here and work it Around from left to right, comes to Hansen, and stopped by Bayless. And possession for Minnetonka. He got it to Luke Schmidt. Back to Bayless. It's a good clear away this time to Josh Lutke. Lutke on the run. Lost the ball as he had it knocked away from him. Picked up by Nelson. Nelson coming back for Wayzata. Lost it briefly, picks it back up.
Even strength. They killed it off.
Alex Solly, Dalton sees. Sees. Fires and shot her wide. Out of play, still Wayzata possession.
I see Minnetonka's put a long pole on Seas now.
Here comes Seaford. Nelson finds Seas. Seas gets past one player and then a backhander high in the net past Bayless. And it's 8-6. Seas with his third goal here in the third quarter.
Boy, caught the long pole on him just napping and got not a half of step. He got a full step on him coming around. But I really loved he's a righty, and he came back with a beautiful backhand. Watch this now. He got the step in, broke the double team, and immediately just got his left hand going or a backhand shot. Reminds me a little bit of Chris Curris on Saturday with OPC. Taking backhanded shots and finding the net. Boy, he's come alive. Boy, Cease has really done a nice job this half. I don't know if coach lit a fire on him or he just figured out I better get going here. We're going to be in trouble.
And Thomas wins the faceoff for Wayzata. Trojans with yet another possession here in the third quarter. They have dominated play. Outscored Minnetonka 4-1 here in the third. Under 4 minutes to go. Shot in front. Sage scores again. My goodness. And Wayzata as close as they've been since late in the first quarter.
Well, when the bus is gassed up, you better drive it. And boy, the Trojans really have. They've moved him around a little bit. They put him up top. He started out on the right-hand side of the field earlier in the game, but now he's back over here and just, oh my gosh.
Great assist by Hansen. Picks up his second assist in this period.
Well, we talked about before the game started, that young man can shoot the ball. No question about it. That was a low-high type shot, and they are very difficult to read if you're a goalie.
8-7 Minnetonka. Battle off the face-off. No clear possession now. It's Wayzata and has it again. Here comes Alex Solly. To Brooks Hansen. And back to Solly. Sees across for Nelson. Nelson, nice little spin move. Another move, shot away. And, off the piper, just went wide. Now it comes back out. Alex Solly's shot gets deflected. And Minnetonka gets possession. Sees trying to hack in it from behind. Can't do so. And a good long run here for Minnetonka's Luke Tollefson. Steal with it and finally gives it up on the pass behind the net to Dixon. Low shot, not much chance there for Brunsvold to get that one through. Minnetonka is able to keep possession though.
Good defense here, Minnetonka. Just keep your two X's behind the net and take some shots on Vraga.
And that pass too high for Doctor at midfield. And Doctor is able to get it back. So Minnetonka didn't quite turn it all the way over, but that was close. They're giving it back to the Trojans.
I'd look to get some shots here and just see what Fraga's got. Yeah, they put him in the game. He really hasn't seen much. Let's see what he's got. He's in a tough situation, coming in cold, but I'd let some shots rip on him.
Doctor, they did. And
there we go.
Made a shot. So made the save. That was a nice save there by Danny Fraga as Jacob Dahl let one rip from fairly close range. Minnetonka still with possession. And the pass. Oh, we get a. That was a shot. I saw that one. That was a stick to the head.
Yeah.
Applied by Minnetonka. He was trying to get the ball back, and instead, you could see the call. There's going to be a 1-minute penalty here, and Minnetonka be man down again.
Well, you can't do that. Some of his teammates congratulating Fraga here. That was a nice save, John. That was a good shot. He was all over it. He's got to do nothing but boost his confidence. The Trojans here, they're just not pushing back. They're looking to put the Skippers right through the wall here. They're coming at them really hard.
And McGraw out for a minute here. Just over a minute and a half to play. Now a minute and a half for Wayzata here in the third quarter, trying to tie this one up before we go to the fourth. Sees his pass broken up, loose ball, ground ball picked up though by the Trojans. Comes back out to Seas, good quick pass, shot away, and there it's tied up. Seas feeds it to Thomas Sievert, and the sophomore attack makes it 8-8.
He doesn't hesitate. He just froze Bayless on that one. Bayless kind of went, oh my gosh, the Bucks ball's in the net. Nice play by Thomas Sievert. Good ball movement too. 3 tight passes. 1, 2. I'm ripping it. And we got a tie game. And again, I mean, you kind of called it in the first half, John. These man-up situations are killing the Skippers right now.
You see the numbers, 6-1 here in the third quarter. Wayzata has come all the way back from down 7-2 at the half. We are tied at 8. And still a minute to go. Wayzata on the attack again, out in front. Oh, and Bayless comes up huge, point blank, stopping Andrew Solly. We'll go over to Minnetonka. Wow, he had to be alert. That came just about 10 seconds after the last goal. But now it's Minnetonka with possession. They'll try to close out strong here in the third quarter. Try to get a little of this momentum back that they certainly have lost here in the second half.
That was a big save by Bayless. I think he needed that right now just to boost his confidence a little bit.
Abraham, the Mason Hurt. Hurt will circle back behind the net. Whipping a shot and the save made. Nice one by Fraga, able to stop DiFrancesco with a good shot on net. Fraga able to stop a low shot. 10 seconds to go in the quarter. Oh, intercepted by Minnetonka. Chance if they hurry. Shot away. Oh, and it goes wide by DiFrancesco. Maybe he hurried it a little bit knowing there wasn't much time left. 0.2 officially on the clock, and that'll be the end of the third quarter.
Wow.
And what a third quarter it was for Wayzata. They outscore Minnetonka 6-1. And a whole new ball game going to the fourth. Minnetonka 8, Wayzata 8. More boys lacrosse on CCX Sports after this timeout.
Every time I hear the alarm bell go off in school, I think it's an air raid.
A lot of houses in our neighborhood have been destroyed. I like to close my ears and sing songs whenever the bombs come close.
I'm worried our new neighbors won't like us.
But I know it's all gonna be worth it. I just want my family to be safe. But these are not my words.
These are not my words.
These are not my words.
Eight to 8, Minnetonka and Wayzata. Second matchup between the Skippers and Trojans this season. Minnetonka trying to split the regular season series here, but Wayzata with a furious push there in the third quarter to come back from down 5 and tie it up at 8.
Well, we've talked about, it's a beautiful thing about the game of lacrosse, John. You can be down by a lot of points, and you can get them back real quick. And we just saw that with dramatic effect here in the first 12 minutes of the second half. And we're going to have a wild and woolly fourth quarter here. The skipper's going to try and regain their composure here and put something together and to ward off that furious Trojan attack, which all of a sudden appeared in the third quarter.
What is it you call it in the hockey, Dan? Fire wagon hockey? Is that what we have for the equivalent of an lacrosse there? That third quarter?
Yeah, we could go fire wagon lacrosse. Yeah, let's play. Oh, geez, I tell you there. My, this has been fun.
Jack Bayless, who's had a number of big saves, but he was really under siege there in that third quarter. And Wayzata kept attacking and attacking. And again, remember, they've got an opportunity here. Wayzata with the first possession of the fourth quarter. With Minnetonka man down, but then Minnetonka able to take it away. Ludke with it on the run for the Skippers. Here comes Ludke. Good pass away. A shot. Oh, and another big save by Fraga. He's come up with 3 huge stops since he's come into that for Wayzata. And that was point-blank save. Fraga couldn't have been any better than that. But Minnetonka gets possession again. Able to pick up the ground ball. It's DiFrancesco. Trying to settle things down here for the Skippers. With Hurt out, he's the man down. Shot away, and Fraga another save. Minnetonka, though, gets the ball back. Here's McGraw. And DiFrancesco. And then Ludke. DiFrancesco. And Minnetonka back at full strength now. Dahl and Skippers now trying to reset. Brunsvold had a goal in the first half. Fakes, passes back out. Dixon fires a low shot. That goes wide. Still Minnetonka possession. This is a stop from earlier. That last big save by Fraga kept his team tied.
Boy, has he come in and played ball. Holy buckets.
Here's Brunsvold again for Minnetonka. Brunsvold, a shot, and that one skips into the net and a goal, and the Skippers go back in front.
After about 8 hard shots, finally one went in for the Skippers. Fraga's come in and just done a tremendous job, but just too much opening there. For a really, really hard shot that went right into the right place. Look at the move here. He comes across and just really rips it. And he got it off quickly, too. And everything on it. Just a good shot. It wasn't Fraga's fault at all. That was just a good shot, well placed in the right place. What's that for Brunsvold? Was that a second one?
Second goal tonight, 9th of the season. Minnetonka back in front. They trailed 1-0, but that was the only time they were behind in the game. Now Thomas with a clean face-off win. And then missed in the pass to Brooks Hansen.
It's an interesting position that Chris Thomas plays. It's got actually in lacrosse terms it's called fogo. Face-off, go-off. Couple bad passes from him. Just needs to settle it down, get it to somebody, and then they can set up the offense. But nice moves here.
Minnetonka trying to build on that last goal. Scoring chance in front and skipped wide by McGraw. Gonzaga, though, again, still with possession. Here's DiFrancesco. McGraw back out high to Dahl. After Abraham to Forrest back out. Patient possession here for the Skippers. There's Dahl on the move. Pass in front. A lot of traffic. Dahl gets it back. Oh, and then somehow cut off. And it's going to go over to Wayzata. Franga that came out and cut off the angle, I think, on Dahl.
Came out and attacked him, and it was really a nice play.
Nice aggressive play.
Why not?
Wayzata comes back. Joel Matthews passing to Larry. Zachary Larry with it. Avoids a contact there. Can he get back? And now Hansen will hold on the left side. And Wayzata will reset here. Under 9 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter. Just on comes Solly. Alex Solly winds and fires and scores, and we're tied at 9.
Well, Minnetonka was sliding so well in the first half. Solly would never get a shot like that in front of the net, arms extended, with that much time to really rip one. They were shutting that down, especially in the middle. You know, from the outside, get a lucky shot, get it inside, they'd let. But, you know, look at how open he is. Wide open here in the middle. They should have stepped up on him, and oh boy, did he rip a shot.
Solly's third of the game, ties it at 9.
Well, the big cannons are showing up for Wayzata in the second half, John.
Thomas won the face-off, but then lost the ball. Couldn't quite hold possession, but now we'll go over to Wayzata. Here's Alex Solly with it. Trojans looking to gain their first lead since the opening half of the first quarter. Here comes Nelson. He fires a shot but missed the net wide. Still Wayzata possession. Andrew Solly. Nice moves to get away from the defender. Gets a pass to Nelson. Hayden B trying to mark him. Nelson, a little dodge, comes back. Gets the pass off. Solly turns and missed on that pass. Race to the sideline. It's going to go to Minnetonka. Good hustle.
Great move by the ref at that point to get out of the way of the ball.
That's outstanding.
He did a great job. He just kind of dropped himself down and got out of the way.
So Minnetonka, good possession, lost. And it's taken back by Seifert. For Wayzata, Seifert in some traffic. And a tough shot attempt. Bayless able to get a piece of it, and it's back over to Minnetonka. Here's Brunsvold now for the Skippers. It's past Andrew Solly. Brunsvold out to midfield. Didn't lose it. He took another hit. Brunsvold with it. And hold and give it off to Doctor. Doctor spins to the left. Backs off a little bit, and they almost intercepted him. We get that ball down.
Sorry, I did not see it.
So 30 seconds, and Minnetonka now, man up here. Let's see if they can take advantage. And we'll put it in play with Jacob Dahl starting out this possession. Dahl, quick pass in front and skips into the net. Brunsvold on a piece of it, I think, or he just get out of the way on the shot by Dahl.
I did slightly deflected it and went in, but you don't see that very often in lacrosse. But you know, good hockey goal there. Good Minnesota tradition in lacrosse here. We'll take a peek here.
I don't think it did.
It went off his foot, I think. Yeah, I think it went off his foot and just deflected back to the left. And went in. Either way,
right?
They got a lead.
Skipper's back in front, 10-9. If it was off of Brunsville, that would be his second goal this quarter. They've given, they have given it to Brunsville with all the assists. So 10-9 Skippers. Wayzata though wins face off. They get the possession here. Nearing the midway point here of the fourth quarter. Alex Solly, good double team. Pass behind the net to Andrew Solly. Here's Hansen. And work it back to the right. Seaford. There's Solly. Hansen back out high. Braden Nelson now will move to the left. Passes behind the net. As run about 30 seconds of clock here. They're going to make sure they get something good.
Yeah.
Alex Solly trying to get himself free. And a lot of traffic. Low shot. Bayless to save, but didn't know where the ball was, and now scoops it up. Made the stop, but then lost track of the ball. Unfortunately for him, he was just to his right. Take a look at it again. Low shot, good stop at Bayless. Then he had lost control, and Andrew Solly cut off just before we could get a shot away to try to put the rebound in. So Minnetonka with possession again. They lead by 1, trying to nurse this lead with 5 minutes to play in the game. DiFrancesco to Dixon. Not high to Hurt. Here's a shot away and a goal.
Oh, nice rip of a shot.
Hunter Abraham, his first goal tonight. And Minnetonka's got its first 2-goal lead since it was 8-6.
Well, scrapping back and fighting hard. Hunter Abraham coming up, the senior. Just did a nice job of beating Fraga. Just watch him come down. Now he's on his left hand, switches to his right, and just gets all of it in on a different angle, or a tough angle, and gets it into the net. Oh, just a straight high shot that just beat Fraga big time. You know, Fraga did the right things too, John. He got out of the crease there. He went out there to cut down the angle. It just beat him hard. Well, the Skipper's scrapping back into the lead here.
Thomas wins the faceoff, though. Pass in the left, Hansen able to control it and hold possession for the Trojans. Abraham's first goal of the season, boy, that was a big one for Minnetonka.
Okay, they set up Sahi the last time now. Look for them to set up C's here.
C's who had 4 goals in that third quarter. Nelson with a shot and a save by Bayless. And then Bayless's pass, teammate didn't see it, and it is controlled now by Minnetonka, by Tollefson.
And a timeout call by Minnetonka. They saw they were in trouble. Good timeout call. Bayless made a nice play, but whoa, don't get sloppy like that, boy. Gosh, they'll turn it on you fast. It's been an interesting second half here, John. My gosh.
That third quarter so dominated by Wayzata. They scored 6 goals, but just 1 so far here in the fourth quarter, compared to 3 for Minnetonka.
Well, Tonka needed to regroup. I think Bayless getting a couple saves for them helped a lot. That goal to break that 7-goal thing when they got that 8th goal, that helped. And then they got a bit of a deflected goal there to give them that lead. They're back to playing tough defense too. Wayzata's trying to do some dodges with guys. I don't know. We'll see. Once those slides start coming from the Minnetonka D, you're going to have to figure something else out, because they weren't successful in the first half with it. And I think Minnetonka's put the plug in the leak here. Got 4 minutes and 10 seconds here. I love this. I like, man, this is good lacrosse. I love watching this. 2 of the better teams in the state.
So out of the timeout, we'll see Wayzata, what Minnetonka rather, has drawn up here as they try to hold and build on the lead if they can here in the final 4+ minutes. Trying to reverse that earlier 11-9 loss, ironically, to Wayzata a few weeks ago. Oh, and in some traffic. Taking a hit and going down was Forced rather, and it's over to Wayzata. Whistle though. What do we got, Dan?
They call it, I think Wayzata called timeout. Yeah. Got possession. They had a long pull with it. Wasn't quite sure what he was going to do, and skippers were closing in on him. But, you know, just, it's a nice hit. I mean,
Joel Matthews.
Yeah.
Big play.
Came across on him, kept the shoulder down, kept the arms in, and didn't hit him, you know, full broadside. He got in and just skinned him enough to get him down, and nice play.
A big play for Wayzata. That only took a few seconds, and they've got possession back. I think a good timeout, too, is Chad Hurst's team scrambling a little bit. Hey, let's get things set up here. You know, get a little rest, and even if it's just a brief one, and focused in on what we need to do here in the last 4 minutes of play to tie this up and win it.
But, you know, we focused on the big guys for, you know, Wayzata, you know, between, you know, Seas and Sally, Hansen. I mean, we've seen some other guys score tonight for Wayzata, and they needed him, by gosh. So what do you do now? Do you go to your big guns, or you keep playing the way you are, you know, for the first guy that gets an opening, go ahead. So we'll see what the Trojans do.
Pass behind the head, but picked up nicely by Hansen. Oh, Brooks Hansen surveying the situation. Will give up the pass to Braden Nelson. Now it's Alex Solly. Solly and Seas have combined to score 8 of the 9 goals tonight for the Trojans. And they have a couple more on them. Seas' shot goes wide. And Andrew Solly will put it back in play. As Seifert to Alex Solly. He's looking at Bayless, turns.
Boy, they're
moving again. Nice move away. Oh, and he shot it wide. Bayless might have gotten a piece of that. And it's still Wayzata with possession.
Now they're playing Solly as a lefty. They don't want him going that way. They want to keep him shooting right. And he turned and he switched to his right hand, but he saw he missed the net there. He's not near as accurate from the right side as he is from the left.
Under 3 minutes to go now. Now it's Alex Solly setting up behind the net. Turns, coming out front. Waiting check, passing out high. Good job by Nelson not to force anything there. Sees, comes in close, and Bayless comes up with a huge stop. And releases the pass upfield to Ludke. Ludke getting hacked at, trying to keep possession. Wayzata.
Yeah, that should be talking possession.
Here's a last couple chances. This was the shot by Solly. Yeah, he just missed the net on that one.
Yep.
And then the last chance, and Bayless coming up with a big stop.
I like that play by Seas. That was a good play, but boy, I'll tell you what, that's where your goalie, that's where he's getting the big bucks for, to make those saves at the crucial part of the game. Now, you think maybe you want to possess the ball here for a while, John?
Brunsvold could be happy if he just held it. That's not going to happen. He's going to give up the pass in front in a lot of traffic. A loose ball, and it's still on the ground. And finally, Wayzata had it for a second.
A hold call on the Skippers.
No, Minnetonka, that was not the way they wanted to that possession to go. Damn, they would have
just why did you throw it into that crowd in the middle? That just, whoa.
Keep it on the outside.
Yeah.
Out of a minute 20 to go. Wayzata on their part's got to hurry now, down 2 goals. Solly had his shot partially deflected. Somebody got a stick on him, and a good play defensively for the Skippers, and they get possession back. 1:10 to go, and Aaron Olivier will take his final timeout here in the second half.
A well-played timeout right now. Nice. Once you got possession there, just stop the thing and calm the kids down. Now, don't throw it into the middle. Possess the ball. You got a 2-goal lead. You don't need to score anymore. Wayzata, John, I would expect, like we were talking the other night, they're going to put a double team on that ball carrier. They need to. They got to get possession and back as quickly as possible. Once they get that goal, now it's up to a face-off where they can get some, get the ball back again and get the game tied up. But they got to get that 10th goal first. So I would expect they're going to pressure them pretty hard. It's been one of those games when I've kind of made guesses and they didn't come quite true, Oh, man.
Well, you and I have had 2 good boys lacrosse games in a row. That Saturday Rogers OBC game. Well, that was a different game. Rogers kind of had control most of that game and the lead most of the game. This one, although Minnetonka's had the lead, certainly had some wild swings and momentum here in the second half.
Absolutely. I mean, wow, this has been incredible. But, you're dealing with one of the better rated teams in the state, and frankly, Minnetonka's underrated.
Yeah.
They're better than what people are giving them credit for. And, it's a late conference rivalry in battle. Typical. All right, we'll see what the skippers have come up with now.
DiFrancesco.
That's a good place to put the ball.
We'll begin this possession. Get it ready for play, and we are underway now with under 70 seconds to go. DiFrancesco takes a shot to the head. And Siracha is going to have to come out here for Wayzata.
Big call. Big call, and good for the ref, because it absolutely was a penalty, no question about it. And you know what, John? I still want to possess the ball. I don't want to take a shot. Right?
No, right. Another 1:03 to go. We reset now. Ready to go again. DiFrancesco will hold it. He'll run back behind the net. 50 seconds to play. Move to his left. Low pass, but handled nicely by Dahl. Gets a return pass in front. And they're looking to shoot, Dan. Like you said, there's going to work some clock off unless they get a great opportunity.
They're just looking for the open guy.
Brunsvold. Didn't get in the box, did he?
No, he didn't get in the box. No.
Aaron Olivia was screaming at him. So Wayzata gets it, but not much time left. 25 seconds, sending it deep downfield. A chance at a goal. Wow! How that ended up in the stick of Brooks Hanson, I'll never know. That was a Hail Mary of lacrosse. Hanson scores with 19.5 seconds to go, and it's 11-10.
Oh my heavens. The Wayzata miracle. Jeepers.
Watch this pass. This is a great feed downfield. Luke Getz to Brooks Hanson.
And I understand getting the big basket out there to retrieve the ball, but don't go out of the net. Oh, man. All right, here we go. 19.5 seconds. Big face-off here.
And Thomas wins it. Oh, but he can't keep control for Wayzata as it came to Mason Hendrickson to the middle of the field. Down to 7 seconds to go. Minnetonka is going to hang on and win here. Final seconds of play. Whoa, what a game we had tonight. Minnetonka wins it over Wayzata 11-10.
Okay, I'm going to take my heart medicine here. I get my blood pressure back down. Oh, my gosh. What didn't we see in this game, John? What didn't we see? We saw good, controlled play lacrosse. We saw good defense, good goaltending. We saw extreme bouts of just manic offense. And then we finally see the Hail Mary. Oh, my gosh. The assertion of the man up. Man, what a game. This was fun.
Minnetonka gets the win. They improved to 4-2 on the season. They get Wayzata back for an earlier loss, 11-9, a couple of weeks ago. And Trojans, it's their second loss of the season. They dropped to 6-2. But this was a fun one tonight. These teams in different sections. The only time they could meet again would be if they would both qualify for the state tournament. Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we very well could. But it's certainly going to help Minnetonka's seeding too with this win. So especially being here at Wayzata.
That'll do it for tonight's telecast. For Dan Fickett and all of our crew, I'm John Jacobson. Thanks for tuning in. Final score again tonight from Wayzata High School. It's Minnetonka over Wayzata, 11-10 the final.